It is rib day. I've got a couple racks of baby back ribs that we are going to rub up with a different seasoning. We're gonna get it out on the grill, and then we're gonna have some porky goodness to taste. So what I'm working with today are 2 racks of baby back ribs. Now, I've gone ahead and removed the membrane. I've done videos on how to do that. In fact, I'll put a link up here so you can check that out if you want. Now, the rub I'm gonna be using is a little different, maybe to you, but I've done rubs like this before. It has fruit in it, freeze-dried fruit, and I did a video on how to make this specific rub, and I'll put a link to that down in the description and up in the corner here too, so you can look at that and see how to make this specifically. Very easy, but it is a mango chili rub. And we're just gonna go ahead, start getting it on our ribs here. See those kind of larger flecks there? Those are some of the freeze-dried mango that didn't break down into powder, and that is totally fine. We're just gonna rub these in. Get both sides here. And even though this is called a mango chili rub, it's not super hot. You can clearly crank up the heat by adding more chili powder. I didn't put a lot in. Definitely want to get some more on this sides here and on the ends. Yeah, I think with the fruit rubs before, I've done apple, I've done raspberry, I've done pineapple. Some of them I've done on pork butt. I've done a cherry one on pork butt. Just adds a really nice complement to pork especially. I find that the fruit rubs go just perfect with pork. I've used them on chicken too. I'm not 100% fond of them on beef, but still tastes good. But I think pork is where they really shine. All right, that is looking good. Let's get these out to the grill. So for these ribs today, we're using the Camp Chef Woodwind Wi-Fi 24, which Camp Chef sent to me for use on my YouTube channel. I'm using the competition blend of pellets today in here. That's a mix of maple, hickory, and cherry. Temperature set at 225. Let's get these on. All right, let's get our lid closed and get smoking. So we're gonna be cooking these to a state of tenderness today. That's probably gonna take somewhere in the 3 to 4 hour range, maybe a little bit longer because I am going at 225. A lot of times I'll cook these at 250. But because we're doing it on the pellet grill, that's gonna be a fairly stable temperature. We're not gonna have huge swings, which can happen in smokers. That's just the fact of life. And you'll get swings in this too. I adjusted the smoke level on the Camp Chef Woodwind to 3. You can go from 1 up to 10. The higher the smoke level you desire, the more swings you're gonna have in temperature. But even up at 8, I was only finding 15 to 20 degree swings in temperature, which when you're using a charcoal grill and offset, that's nothing. So this does a really good job of maintaining temperature in a range. In about 2 hours, we'll check these, see if they need to be spritzed, and see how tender they are with a flex test. At that point, I'll decide if I'm gonna wrap them and when I'm gonna glaze them, because I'm gonna be putting a barbecue sauce on them today. So I'll see you back out here in a couple hours. All right, we've been going 2 hours. Let's check these ribs. So I just want to do a quick flex test on these, see how tender we're getting right now. Still fairly stiff there. Yeah. They are looking just a little bit dry, so I'm going to spritz them with just some plain water. Now I'm going to let these go for another hour before I check them again. We're doing true low and slow here. This is in the 225 range. At 250, these might have been a little more tender at this point, but I want to do it lower and slower today on the pellet grill, give it a good test. So we're gonna close the lid up, let these keep smoking, check them in an hour. All right, we've been going for 3 hours now. Let's take a look at our ribs. Those are looking good. Let's do a quick little flex test, but I think it's gonna be time to sauce these. little more bend. They definitely need more time to tenderize, but I've decided I'm not going to wrap them. I'm going to let them ride today. So I'm going to go ahead and sauce these. Now the sauce I'm using is a regular old barbecue sauce. It's about 1.5 cups of that and 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar mixed in. And I do have foil down on the drip tray in the pellet smoker here. Just makes cleanup easier. All right, those are looking good. I'm gonna close the lid and we're gonna check these in about an hour. All right, we've been going for 4 hours. Let's give these ribs a check. These are looking fairly gorgeous. Now I'm just gonna do a probe tenderness check here and then I'll do another flex test. Pretty good. Still a little resistance. Getting more bend there, which is good. I think we probably have about an hour left to go. What I want to do right now is I want to spritz these again, yes, on top of the sauce. I'm not going to hit them heavy and knock that sauce off. Just want a little more moisture in here. If I wanted to, I could put a small water pan in here, but I don't really feel it's that necessary right now. I just want to get a little extra moisture on the surface. Just that much, not a lot at all. All right, I'm gonna close it up and I'll see you back out here in about an hour. All right, we are at the hour 5 mark. I think we're probably done. Usually baby backs at this 225 range, they're really low and slow. About 5 hours is about the max. So let's go ahead and give them a check. Yeah, those are looking really nice. Let's go ahead and give a little probe tenderness check here. Yeah, these are feeling good. Now, I've said many times before, I don't like my pork ribs to be fall off the bone. If you wanted these fall off the bone, you could actually wrap them at this point, or you could let them go, I'd say another 30 to 45 minutes, and they'd be fall off the bone. But these will still have some bite to them. Hopefully. That's how I like them. Let's do a quick flex test too. Yeah, you can start to see the surface there wants to tear. Yeah, it's looking good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get these off, get them inside, and we're gonna have a taste. So here is one of our racks of baby back ribs, fresh off the Camp Chef Woodwind. The color is really, really nice. It's not a black, dark bark. It is that sort of barbecue saucy flavor on it. Doing it low and slow, I mean low. The 225 to me is about the lowest I usually go on ribs. You're not gonna get that higher heat on it. So if you are using a barbecue sauce that has, sugar in it, you have less of a chance of burning. Normally though, I'll do these ribs in the 250 to 275 range, and I don't have any trouble with the sugars in the sauce burning, but this is a lighter, redder color, and it looks really nice, and I can tell you it smells amazing right now. But let's go ahead and cut in. Now, I always say this, I know people flip these over and cut so you can see the bones, but then you kind of mess this up, and for video, I don't want to mess this up, so I'm just going to try and see if I can get right between the bones here. Let's see. Oh yeah, that is looking good. Nice and juicy. Let's cut another one of these out of here. All right, I'm just gonna cheat and take a little taste of the piece of the sort of the barky skin that falls off. Okay, that's good. Oh man, I don't want to give anything away yet because I haven't said it yet. It's time to taste. And I'm keeping my gloves on because they're very messy and juicy here, but oh man, really juicy. I hope you can see this. Here we go. This is how I like it, that bite away from the bone. Not fall off the bone, but when you bite it, it pulls away easily. And this is exactly that. Really nice flavor from that mango. The barbecue sauce is pretty standard. Some normal barbecue sauce cut with some apple cider vinegar gives it a little bit of a tang. That's a good finish to that sweetness. Just a little bit of heat from that chili. It's not overpowering at all. In fact, you could dial it back, but I'd honestly dial it up more because I like a little more heat. Tender, juicy, not a super pronounced smoke ring. It's very thin in here. That's not something that's uncommon to pellet grills. I think it really depends on how much smoke setting you have. Remember, the smoke ring is really about the combustion gases. You can get it straight with charcoal. And I only had a smoke setting of 3, so we're not really producing a ton of combustion gases in there. It's just maintaining that temperature. Doesn't affect the flavor at all, and there is a nice smoke flavor to this, not overpowering. And that's one of the nice things about the pellet grills where you can dial in that smoke setting. If you have people that don't like really smoky flavor, this is a perfect way to do it. And I gotta say, that fruit rub, perfect with pork. I would use that on ribs, pork loin, pork butt, anything pork. It's just porkerific. So if you've never considered using fruit in a rub, give it a shot. Works great with pork, like I said. And then all you have to do, give it that time on your grill or your smoker, a little bit of smoke, maybe a sauce if you want sauce, but you don't have to. And you've got some great, tender, tasty, tasty ribs.